Lawrence, I just know you.
This is a special presentation brought to you by the Come On in Sports Network.
NFL Nation, how you doing? Come on in. Welcome to the Wrap, a football podcast, the weekly wrap, a football podcast. I'm one of your hosts. I'm Dolph Jackson. We're presented by the Come On In Sports Network. Look, we got my brothers in the house tonight. We got host of Atlanta Falcons FANDEMIC. This man needs no introduction. Falcon Nation, you're sleeping on him. You're sleeping on him. My brother Cowboy is in the building. I know y'all see that match side by side. Y'all say, man, how does this work? We family, baby. We just love to hate on certain Sundays. At the bottom of the screen, right under me, is one of the hosts of the Farm Media Podcast. The Farm Media Network, excuse me, Mr. James Patrick, and shout out to his lovely wife, the lovely Miss Florence. Shout out to her. And we will be joined. We are expected to be joined by one of the best in the business. Y'all knew who I'm talking about. You saw the thumbnail. I'm talking about none other than Mr. Mike Detillier. And right under Cowboy, it's the host of the Weekly Wrap, a football podcast. Our brother, Mr. Lawrence Foster. Lawrence, come on in.
Oh, welcome, everybody. Thanks for joining us, as always, on the Weekly Wrap. We got a fun show for you in tune today. We got our mock draft. It's going to be live. We're going to have real reaction, real input. We hope you guys have some input for us on what we need to do. James, nice to meet you, man. Love your work. Thanks for joining us today.
Well, thank you. I love your work too. You guys are very entertaining and very good. We're getting the voice out of all your guys' talents, and we just are really looking forward to all of you growing and getting more and more, because you guys are very talented, and I really enjoy your shows.
All right. Well, thank you, guys. And Dolph, we'll kick it off like we do every week. Some news. Obviously, the big pre-draft news from yesterday of Dexter Lawrence being traded to the Bengals for the number 10 overall pick. And Bengals kind of one of those teams that doesn't seem to do things like this very often, but it seems like they're really going all in with Joe Burrow in his prime with the receivers and weapons they got. So we'll go around the horn on that. James, kicking it off with you. What are your thoughts on that trade? One team make out better than the other? Is it kind of a win-win in your eyes?
I don't know. It seemed like a lot for him. I thought he's a very solid player and a good player, but so I think this could be a win-win, but I thought it was a little bit much. And like you said, it was very shocking when I heard a trade. I never thought the Bengals would be making this trade. So very interesting. Kicking off the first round with some interesting things already.
Yeah, absolutely. Cowboy, your thoughts on the Dexter Lawrence trade?
Yeah, I agree with James. It seemed like it is a lot. But this just showed his desperation of wanting out of New York. I'm trying to figure out, was it that bad up there that he wanted to leave New York and go to Cincinnati? I thought New York had a bigger upside, or more of an upside to future aspiration into the playoffs, or closer to the playoffs anyway. But I don't know. I mean, things must have been going like really crazy up there. They want to be out and end up in Cincinnati. So I'm waiting to see how that turns out for him, how it works for him.
Dolph, I think you're.
I'm gonna disagree with all y'all. I love the trade. First of all, it was. Let's stop playing. We know what it was about. It was all about the money, baby. Give me the money. Show me the money. You got this new regime coming in with John Harbaugh. I didn't draft you. Okay, I would love to have you, but you were not my player. Look, Lawrence has spent all 7 of his seasons with the Giants. He made 3 straight Pro Bowls from 22 to 24. Had a kind of dip last year, but make no mistake about it. He is one of the most talented interior defensive linemen in the National Football League, and he's right now he's in his prime. He's just 28 years old. Cincinnati needed defensive help in the worst way. We know Trey Henderson is gone. Who are they going to get at number 10 better than Dexter Lawrence right now? Was it worth it? Yes, to me, it was worth it. It was worth it. Bingo Nation, Jungle, sign off. Let us know. Do you like the trade? Do you disagree? Are you mad because the number 10 pick is gone and you got a player that could have or might have worked out, but you're getting a player who has made 3 Pro Bowls in his time and is regarded as one of the best interior defensive tackles in the league. So there I go. Y'all know how I do, baby.
Yeah, I agree with you. I'm not saying it wasn't a bad deal. It's just that it is. I would think that New York probably would have made a bigger go at it than just let him walk. You know, I know they didn't want to spend that kind of money on him, but his impact on that defense, he is the true leader on that defense, or was a true leader now that he's gone. But I think New York will probably put up a bigger fight than just let him walk. I mean, it was a good deal for Cincinnati, but I don't know. Dexter, like I said, things must have been going crazy up there for him to just walk out of there and not put up a good fight either. So I don't know. Maybe it was on both. It was the feelings were mutual on both sides.
I mean, if I'm the Giants, I mean, they say that it was reported that he asked for the trade on the 6th, April the 6th. Mm-hmm. 14, it was reported that they were at an impasse. So you saw this coming. And if I'm the Giants, I do this trade. 1, we can't come to a mutual agreement. 2, he is right now, he is our most value, he's the most valuable asset we got. We get the number 10 pick in the draft. We already have a number 5. Now we got our young quarterback going into his 2nd year. Now we are in position to put weapons around our young quarterback. Now, the Giants need help. We know they need cornerback help. They need D-line help now. They need somebody. I believe their rush game, their pass rush edge game is all right. Wide receiver, guard, cornerback, D tackle. There you go. Wide receiver. At number 5, Cornell Tate is in play. I'm telling you. Everybody's saying Cornell Tate's in play. And also Jeremiah Love. Now, what do they do with the 10th pick? Do they try if it's Jeremiah Love they want? Yeah. Do they try to get in front the Titans, who are rumored to be interested in Jeremiah Love? So it's a lot of ways the Giants can go with that number 10, with these 2 picks in the top 10. I think they walk away with 2 starters in the top 10. If I'm them, I keep both picks. And I take the top players on my board, and I'm surrounding Jackson Dart with the most talent I can get. I'm going offense and defense with those two picks. But Cornell Tate on the opposite of Neighbors, let's think about it. They need a number 2 now because Rondale Robinson, he's in Tennessee. So Cornell Tate to the Giants, to me, that's in play. Or did the workout Friday do enough to make the Giants say, hey, let's go to ASU and let's get Jordan Tyson? I'm just saying.
Yeah, I agree. We'll take a moment there to reach out and say hello to Miss Pam. She's joining us from Falcon Nation, and then Mr. Daniel Berry, two of my followers. Welcome. Appreciate you joining in.
Come on in. I know Daniel. What's going on, Daniel? Pam, how you doing? And we got the law firm in the building too. Annie Marie Elizabeth Velosky. If that's not a law firm, baby, I don't know what it is.
Yeah, right up there with Ben Jarvis, Green Ellis, right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
The other piece of news we're going to get to before we hop into our mock draft quickly, Will Anderson signed an extension with the Texans. Considering him and C.J. Stroud, both obviously the same class, but Anderson gets his first. James, does that speak more to C.J. Stroud or Will Anderson in your eyes about and the defensive end getting the extension first?
I don't know. I like CJ Stroud, but I think he's kind of one of those guys that's a good quarterback, but not a great quarterback. And I think that they need to go back to their pound and ground where they were physical on defense, good running game, and CJ Stroud plays key plays. So I think it's more. I think they know what they have in CJ Stroud, and to me, I want their defense to be elite. And I see it with the Raiders. I see it with a lot of teams. If you have two edge rushers that can really get to the quarterback, or a defensive line to get to the quarterback, it covers up a lot of ills. And John Madden used to say, a great pass rush covers over a lot of stink. And that's the thing, is you could get away with things. And I think so. So that's kind of where I think that, to me, I'm like the Eagles. You can't have enough guys getting to the quarterback or being physical in the front eight. So that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. And Dolph, I read an article, kind of what James said about how the Texans are bucking the trend and kind of building their defense to be how they win. Do you think that's a smart move by them? And your thoughts on that extension for the Texans?
Yeah, I love the extension for Will Anderson. He has, to me, outperformed where he was drafted. He is one of the few that come into the league that has lived up to the hype, to the expectation. He's an excellent young football player. And as far as the Titans, you say they're planning on building through the defense. Why not? Why not build through the defense? But listen, you got a young quarterback, a young talented quarterback. I love the addition of Wan'Dale Robinson to the Titans. Their running game isn't horrible, but then again, I'm gonna say this: when you have an opportunity to get I'm gonna say it, this word is thrown around so much, but I'm gonna say it, a generational talent. To me, Jeremiah Love is the equivalent of Bijan Robinson and Jahmyr Gibbs. He can have that type of effect on the football team. He's the type of player that will make defensive coordinators stay up at night. And he is a every down back, not situational, every down back. He's good at picking up blitzing linebackers, safeties coming. He can run between the tackles. He can take it outside. And what's really underrated about him for a running back, he's an excellent route runner. Just turn on the tape and look at him. This kid, he's that guy, man.
All right, Cowboy, you want to wrap up your thoughts on what Dolph said, and then the Will Anderson, CJ Stroud situation?
Yeah, if I'm Houston, man, I look. There's such thing as keeping a core to the team and building around the core, not just the player, right? We all saw what CJ meant to Houston when he went down for those couple of games. They couldn't win a game, and they couldn't do nothing on offense. So if I'm in Houston, I'm working out a way where I can get both these guys signed, keeping them both happy, and you got to keep your protector there. So I mean, if you're gonna build right? You keep your players. Don't trading a player a year after or 2 years after you think you can move on from them. That's insane. If you're rebuilding, keep your team happy, build your chemistry, and try to get into the postseason.
Now I'll close out by saying, as a Bills fan, I wish the Texans hadn't won when CJ Stroud was out, but the Bills lost to Davis Mills on Monday Night Football. So yeah, I'm not a big fan of either of them. But we're going to head into the draft now because we got 32 picks to roll through, guys. We're going to kick things off. James, I hear you are a Raiders guy. Is this accurate?
I'm more. Yeah, my family has always been Raider fans, and I've been a Raider fan. But since they've moved 9 times, it's hard to keep track of everything. So your loyalty veins a little bit. But yeah, we're looking at the first pick. I like Mendoza. I think he'll be a solid quarterback in the NFL. I really like his personality and all of this. What everyone else says, he's got a good arm, good accuracy, so and a good personality. So I think he's a no-brainer, nice pick for the Raiders.
All right, so Mendoza is obviously the pick. I don't think there's any question about that. So we'll pull up his card here real quick for us on that. So quick thoughts, guys. We'll go around the horn. James picked Fernando Mendoza, not a surprise. Cowboy Dolph, thoughts on him going to the Raiders with Kirk Cousins there as well.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. It's a no-brainer. I mean, Kirk Cousins is. You saw what he did here in Atlanta. I mean, I don't know if it was by design or was that by will, but Kirk Cousins didn't work out here. Didn't finish the task that he was hired to do. I don't know. Maybe his mindset will be different up over with the Raiders. But you got a young quarterback in Fernando Mendoza who's shown that he's regardless of how you feel about how athletic he is, he has a great mind on this. He has a great head on his shoulders. He reminds me of Matt Ryan when Matt Ryan was being brought out of Boston. Matt Ryan wasn't the most athletic, but you saw how smart he was with the ball. And, he was that team leader. So, and Fernando's the same way. He has the knack of having people dialed in when it's time to step up and play. I like this pick for the Raiders. And besides, I think he's going to be day one. I mean, he got a great teacher over there. Maybe he'll find that chemistry with Kirk Cousins and learn a lot from him. I like this pick for the Raiders.
Dolph, your thoughts on him to the Raiders quick?
No brainer. We knew this was the case since he won the Heisman. This is the most. Everybody knew he's the best quarterback in this year's draft based off this season. You can't take nothing away from him. The one thing I do like about the kid is this: the big moments are not too big for him. He rises up to when you need that play, when the game's on the line, that kid steps up. He produces time after time. Great charge by the Raiders, and most importantly, he does not have to be thrust right in as the starter. He can sit back and learn from Kirk Cousins. I love that for that young man.
And the one thing I'll add to this is I think Tom Brady being there is not a coincidence that they signed Kirk Cousins, that now obviously you would hope Mendoza can, but there's no pressure if we have to do it with a veteran like that. Tom Brady knows the importance of a quarterback room. We always look at the number one, but that room is very important, especially for a young man coming up with a franchise that's been on the downswing for a while. So I think it's a great position for him. Kirk was a great mentor. Kirk has the right mindset to be that guy. So I think it's a great spot for him. So Fernando Mendoza, number one to the Raiders, surprises nobody.
Hey guys, hold on. We got Mr. Detillier. Mike saying he's backstage. I don't see him.
I do not see him either.
Hey, Mike, I'm sending you another link, sir. Go ahead, Lawrence. I'll be in the background trying.
All right, so that brings us to the number 2 pick, first of their 2 first-round picks in the 2026 draft. Cowboy, we have the New York Jets. Needs we kind of have is obviously quarterback, wide receiver, edge, and offensive line. Your thoughts here, and who you have them taking at the number 2 overall pick?
The Jets lost a lot on their defense, and I have them going with Arvell Reese from Ohio State. Hold on one second. Hold on, guys. I'm so sorry.
All right, so Arvell Reese, Dolph, why do you think Cowboy would take him over maybe anybody else, obviously, at that position? Edge is a big need for them, but why Arvell over anybody else?
Tremendous upside. Turn on the tape. Look, 18 games as a starter, but the kid is just an athletic freak. He still has his ceiling is still so high. He has a significant amount of room where he can grow. Speed, burst off the line. He's gonna have to, of course, work on his counter moves as he comes into the league. But man, right now he's that clump of clay that a potter likes, man, that he can just mold. And that's what they get, man. Listen, he can be a game changer for the Jets. So I like this selection.
James, your thoughts on Arvell? Obviously, it kind of seems like a boomer bust guy, but climbed up the draft boards throughout the process. So Ohio State with the first of probably many first-round picks to the Jets.
I'm going to shake it up a little bit. I like Arvell Reese a lot. The Jets are cursed sometimes with these draft picks. I'm going to take David Bailey out of Texas Tech. I believe when I saw him, he just literally, it was weird. You never thought he was the most athletic or gifted player on the field, but he always dominated and he always made the big plays. He always seemed to be at the pass rusher. he just seemed to have such great instincts. So I really like David Bailey. So I'm going to shake it up, and I'm taking Bailey here.
All right. So I'll edge either way, but depending on who it is, I mean, it's kind of like whatever your flavor is.
Yeah, no loser.
Yeah, the Jets need help either way. So that moves us to the Cardinals, who I think is kind of very intriguing place. Somebody I can see moving up later in the first round to get a quarterback like Ty Simpson. A little bit too early here. So, Dolph, to you with the Cardinals, we have needs, obviously quarterback. They need offensive line help, edge, and safety. Where do you see the Cardinals going with the third pick, Dolph?
Definitely not going quarterback right here. I believe it's definitely too early for Ty Simpson. So looking at the board here, man, Orville Reese just went. I'm going David Bailey. I'm taking David Bailey right here at number 3.
All right, so 2 ends. What was it the same thing for you where you would have switched depending on which one was taken? It was either Reese or Bailey for you?
Yes.
So
I got a quick question. If James, when you were having trouble logging in, did you log in? How did you get in? Because Mr. Detillier is having trouble getting in through StreamYard.
What I did is I logged into StreamYard, and I have a free account there because I don't use it. So I had a free account, and then when I clicked on the link, it worked for some reason.
Okay. So, all right, here's one. Okay, thank you. All right, go ahead, James. I got it.
My pick? I trade. I trade down, and I think they need a ton of help. And I think what I love about this draft is there's so many great edge rushers, and that's one of the positions that they need. So I'd trade down. But if they have the pick, because there's a lot of teams that would love to have Reese or Bailey, but if they don't trade down, then I take Reese.
So 2 ends off the board. The quarterback number 1 brings us to the Titans, who had last year's number 1 pick, and obviously they got their quarterback situated. Lots of help needed there. I don't think Cowboys back yet. So, James, we'll go to you for Tennessee. We have offensive line, wide receiver, running back as their needs. Where do you see them going with the number 4 overall pick?
Jeremiah Love. I think what I love about Love is that he can do it all. He's underrated blocker. He can catch the ball. He can run. He could do everything. So he's the kind of guy that I love to have on the team. I think people are so negative about running backs, but they could really change a team. And I see kind of you wonder with all the quarterback issues that we're having in the NFL, if teams won't start relying more on running backs. And I think Love is one of those do-it-all running backs that could really change a team and also take pressure off Cam Ward. I'm not a huge Cam Ward guy. He holds on to the ball so long, just drives me crazy. But I think that I don't know if he's really going to be a star in the league, but I think Love is just one of those guys that could really transform the Titans. And they're not going to be a juggernaut, obviously, but I think this will really help their passing game, their quarterback situation, and their offense. So Love for me.
100%. And Dolph, you've already talked about Love being possibly the best player in the draft. When you think about the Titans, Dolph, in their history, when have they been great? When they've had great running backs?
Yeah,
Eddie George back in the day when they had I forgot his but they have obviously Derrick Henry. So do you think they're kind of just trying to get back to that mindset and type of play, especially with Robert Saleh coming in?
Jeremiah Love is the reason they would get back to that type of play because of his talent. This kid arguably could be the most talented player in this entire draft. He, my friend, he again, like I just said, and I hate being repetitive. B. John Robinson, Jameer Gibbs, this kid here, he's a change. He gives me a little Damian Thomason feel to him. He's a bigger back. He's bigger than Gentry was coming out last year. Some scouts have him rated higher than Gentry was last year. This kid, to me, you got to give your young quarterback weapons. And what better thing to give a young quarterback than a running game, which slows down that pass rush because now they have to respect number 4 coming out that backfield. So I love this pick for the Titans, and I really expect them to go there. Now, we about to get to the next team, but if they want them, they might have to move up.
Okay, so you think Love is one of those first people that teams will move up to try to get ahead of Tennessee, you think?
Yeah, because don't sleep on the Giants now. The Giants need a running back. I know everybody loves Scalaboo, but I'm talking about Jeremiah Love. You know, think about that combination for Jackson Dart. Man, okay, you get him, then you come at 10, and hey, maybe Cornell Tate still on the board. You grab Cornell Tate at 10, you walk away with Love and Tate. Man, come on. That would be a real haul for Big Blue.
And that ties into what James said about he feels like the Cardinals will be a trade back candidate. So that's perfect in front of Tennessee for anybody that wants to try to move up and get Love. So it might be that kind of marriage made of a team looking to move back. A team really wants a running back, and Love being really the only first-round talent in this year's draft. So might be a marriage made right there. Moving on to the Giants, who we talked about at the beginning, who made the big trade for Dexter Lawrence.
One before we move on, man. Listen, Mike won't be able to join us, man. He's having difficulty logging in, so we want to thank Mike. He was trying to get on, man, but he had some other commitments also. So we want to thank Mike, man, for even trying and taking the time out to come join us, man. And we'll definitely do this again after the draft, Mike. I'll reach out and we'll make sure we got everything straight away on both ends next time you come. Thank you, my friend.
Yes, and we're close to 100 steady viewers, so welcome in, everybody, if you're just joining us. This is the weekly wrap of football podcast here at the Come On In Sports Network. We have our weekly Sunday night show. We are doing a mock draft. We're on pick number 5. If you are just joining us, we have the Raiders taking Fernando Mendoza, the Jets with Arvell Reese, the Cardinals with David Bailey, and then the Jeremiah Love just went to the Titans, which brings us to the Giants with their first of their 2 top 10 first-round picks. Cowboys back with a special guest. I think that's the brains of the operation right there. How we doing, my man? Welcome in. So the Giants on the board, Cowboy, with the Angel speaking.
Yeah, got my co-host with us.
All right, who you got the Cowboys taking there, Cowboy?
Say again?
Who you got the Giants taking? You
Say
got
one more time, Lord.
Cornerback.
Oh, okay. I got the Giants taking Jeremiah Love. I mean, John Harbaugh, he's starting first out.
He gone. He off the boat.
He went to the Titans.
Oh, he gone?
Oh
my goodness.
He's off the board.
Well, that messes up my mock.
That's why we're live, people. We never know what's going to happen, what's going to be going on. So now he's got to adjust. What's the backup plan, Cowboy?
Oh my goodness, that was no backup plan, not for the Giants. They better take Jeremiah Love. They better hope he's there at that pick.
Who'd you have going for, Cowboy?
Going for, I got Sonny Styles.
Oh,
Tennessee. Yeah, I got Tennessee. Sonny. Yeah.
All right. So, do you think that Sonny Styles goes here? We got who you got them taking outside of Love and Love then?
I actually didn't have it because I think it was a make. That was one of the trades that they have to make happen, and they better hope that it does happen. Because even either way, if it's Jeremiah Love or not, they need a running back bad. I mean, this is not one of those positions where, outside of D tackle, I know they need that now too. So, but they need a running back, and I mean, their offense cannot operate without a running back. They need them.
All right, so I'll go ahead and I'll make the pick for the Giants here. I'm going to have them taking Carnell Tate. They need a wide receiver to go along up there after losing Wendell Robinson. Tate, I think, is the most probably like the floor is the highest for him. He may not have the ceiling of a Tyson from ASU, but I think his floor and what he's able to do, and he doesn't have to be the number 1, which Dolph has talked about a bunch throughout this process of him never being a 1, but assuming Neighbors is able to come back healthy, that's your number 1, and then you got a solid number 2. And if anything, over the past few years, Ohio State has shown their receivers come in ready to roll year 1. So, James Dolph Cowboy, thoughts on Carnell Tate to the Giants?
Go, Dolph.
I love it. Again, I said it earlier. You got to get a number 2 opposite of Malik Neighbors. Then we have to realize Malik Neighbors is coming off a knee injury. So you get a Carnell Tate, you put Carnell Tate, you add him to that offense, you're gonna have a running game. And I like the young tight end they have too. Jackson Dart, you give Jackson Dart 2 bona fide outside targets and Neighbors and Tate. You got the rugged running game, the violent running game. We know what type of running game that John Harbaugh is going to want to have in the regular season. It's just a problem with it in the playoffs. So he'll run the hell out the ball in regular season, but playoff, I don't know. But I love the addition here of Carnell Tate to the Giants. It makes a lot of sense. And again, you are surrounding your young quarterback with talent.
He's my pick. I have him. I know some mocks have Dykes and even Downs going, but I love Tate. And I think he's one of those guys. He doesn't drop balls. He's just one of those guys that just gets it. And he's a playmaker. He plays at the highest level. To me, he's that guy I want. I want him. He's a leader. I just think it's a no-brainer pick, at least for me.
Yeah, and I think the Browns would be pretty upset that he doesn't fall to them at 6. I think he would have been a real target for them, especially with 2 first-round picks. But talking of the Browns, Dolph, we'll have you take the Browns pick here. Wide receiver, tackle, guard, edge. Lots of places it could go. Where do you see the Browns going at number 6?
Quarterback.
Yikes.
With the 6th pick, the Browns select Todd Simpson. Now I'm just playing. But knowing the Browns, you never know. You never know with the Browns.
They need 9 quarterbacks. So
you scared me, Dolph. You scared me there for a second.
Listen, you got a busload of quarterbacks. You got to protect them. I say Spencer Fano, offensive tackle from Utah. I think he's very talented. He can play either tackle spot. Now there could be at some point you could look to moving him at guard, but I think this kid is one of the better athletes as far as big men offensive linemen in his draft. So I'm gonna go Spencer Fano, offensive tackle from Utah for the Cleveland Browns.
All right, there we go. Spencer Fano, the first tackle, which I think I figured there's about 6 to 8 going in this draft in the first round. Cowboy, he's not here right now. James, your thoughts on Fano to the Browns?
If I'm the Browns, I trade down. I trade with the Cowboys. And the Cowboys defense stunk. And I think if I were the Cowboys, I would do this to get Sonny Styles. I think they need a leader. I think they need and he's that guy. Great playmaker, and I think he's one of those guys that could kind of take over from Micah Parsons and be that stud on defense that could really take over because they really lack leadership and they lack talent. So that's what I would do if I were the Browns. But since we're just picking, what I would do for the Browns is I love Dolph's pick, but I really love Sonny Styles, and that's who I would take.
I mean, if they wanted to really finish off that defense, finally getting a competent person opposite of Myles Garrett, imagine what he could do if someone had to pay attention to anybody else on that defensive line. My goodness.
See, that's what people forget. The Raiders had 1 year where their defense was really good. And the year was when Kuntz, their opposite edge of Crosby, was healthy, and he was a madman rushing the passer. Then he got hurt, and he was never the same. But if you have 2 guys on both sides on different sides of the field. There's no place to hide, and that's why I would like. I love Styles' game. I think he's made for the pro game, and I really love him. So I would get him, and I'm with you. I think the Cowboys. The Cowboys want to win now because Jerry Jones is late 80s, I believe, and he wants to win before he passes. And he said it several times. Al Davis said it several times. So I think they're not going to wait around for people that can't play now. And I think this guy's a plug and play. He's really good. So that's kind of how I see it.
Yeah. Oh, if you want to answer this question from Sinbad quick, he asked you after you saw what your success of punting in the Super Bowl, can clubs finally see punting as a real weapon and not just a way to rescue a poor drive? So your thoughts quickly on that, Dolph.
Yeah, you talking to a Saints fan who had an awful punter last year. Thank you, Houston, for giving us a 7th-round pick for him. We went out. We signed Ryan Wright from the Vikings, one of the top punters in the league. So yes, listen, like I always say, you don't think about special teams until it bites you in the butt. So yes, punting is a weapon. If you got a good punter who can consistently put the opponent in negative field position, man, that's a weapon, man. So yes, it is a weapon. I do see it, sir. What up, Sinbad?
Thank you for the question, Sinbad. Anyone else throw your questions, thoughts about there we'll get them up on the screen for you, address them as we can. But we're going to move along here to keep things going. We're on pick number 7 with the Washington Commanders, who unveiled their kind of new uniforms, which are really kind of a throwback. Love the colors and combinations they have moving forward with that. But Cowboy, you lost your angel on your shoulder, but you got the Commanders here. Wide receiver, cornerback, running back, center.
Yeah, I got yeah, y'all kind of messed me up on that number 6 pick too. But we're gonna move on because
that's the reality of the draft.
You're supposed to text us on what to pick. So come on.
No. Do your thing. I mean, yeah. But I mean, that was a good pick anyway. But for Washington Commanders, man, I got them going defense on this one, and they need it. The offense is solid, right? But the defense is what is giving. It did give up a lot of points last year. But I got them going with the edge. They need to start getting pressure on quarterbacks. You saw what a lot of the mobile quarterbacks were able to do against Washington, and I got them going with Ruben Bain from Miami at edge. You talking about a guy that's very underrated right now only because of his arm length. But the Washington Commanders need that edge rusher. They got one. They need another one on the other side. They got a pair of linebackers in there that can do the job, but they need to go. They need to get some. They need to get some pressure on some quarterbacks. They just can't go swapping out touchdown for touchdowns and not getting the quarterback on the ground or under the rest. They got to go edge rusher. Got to go defense and get this edge rush. Ruben Bain.
And quickly, while you're on there, Cowboy, Chantel, who are the Falcons starting at quarterback? You being our Falcons guy, your quick prediction: Penix or Tua?
This is going to be one of those camp decisions, right? With Penix coming back off an injury, and Tua, who's already ready to start day one. But if Penix comes in, right, the only way Penix is going to start if he comes in and absolutely torches camp. I mean, he have to come in and show like he's coming out of he's the one coming out of the draft. He has to come in and command like he already knows this playbook, knows the system rather, and he has to command it. I mean, otherwise Tua is going to be the starter, and it's all going to be depend on how healthy he is, right? If he's not 100%, they're not going to start him. So, but I got Penix coming in if he comes in and show that he's ready to start. But if it came down to if I had to make a decision today, it's going to be Tua all day long. You're talking about somebody that's already healthy, already knows the system. He just need a pair of offensive weapons with a nice offensive line, and we have that.
All right, thank you for the question, Chantel. Much appreciated. Dolph, quickly before we move on to the next pick, Ruben Bain over Sonny Styles. Your thoughts there with the Commanders' pick?
I need pass rush help. I love either way they go. It's a win-win. But Ruben Bain looks like he's falling because of short arms, but If I'm not mistaken, for his whole life since he's been playing football, he's had short arms, and them short arms haven't stopped him from being dominant on tape. So it really kills me about this. Turn on the tape and watch the production. He's a hell of a football player, man. I love the Reuben Baines, man. Reuben Baines to the Commanders. I love it.
And James, I don't even need to ask you. You've been on the Sonny Styles. You would have taken Styles over Bain, I imagine, because he's been 4 times already for you, I think.
Yeah, Styles is already gone for me, and I think Bain would be a perfect pick. I have him going here too. Another guy, I'm not an NFL Combine guy. I'm not, his fingers are 2 inches or whatever the heck it is. Yeah. I just want him to get to the quarterback, and if he gets to the quarterback, I don't care what his hands look like or anything. I just want you to play, and he's been playing at every level and dominating. And what I like about Miami edge rushers in their defensive line is they're nasty and they're mean and they're physical. They may be a little dirty once in a while, and I like all that stuff. And they got swagger, and that's what I love. The old Miami, the U, and that's what I love. And he's got that, and I think he would transform the defense. So I hope that he's there for the Saints. And the U, Cowboys give me the U. I'm an Oklahoma fan, but we've messed up. We haven't been what we should have been. But I really like him. I hope he lasted for the Saints, to be real honest with you. I'd love him to be on the Saints, but I don't know if he'll last that long.
And that's a great transition, James. Thank you for making my job easier. The Saints are on the board right now.
What I do.
That's what you do. You're professional in the house. That leads us to Dolph, our resident Saints expert. Obviously, you see the logo behind Dolph. So, Dolph,
Caleb Downs.
With the Saints.
I'm running with the core. Caleb Downs. Caleb Downs. That's who I want. Caleb Downs. He is an instant starter, instant impact in the slot corner, outside corner, in the box, too high safety. Good against the run. Caleb Downs, day one starter. As soon as he walks in, pencil him in as a starter, baby. Let's go. We keep the draft moving. That was easy.
I bet y'all didn't know Dolph wanted Caleb Downs.
They didn't know.
Hey, but with that question, with that pick, Dolph, I got a question for you.
Sir. Yes, sir.
I read a tweet the other day from former general manager, what is his name? Well, Mike. What is his name? Mike
Mayock?
Mike Mayock, I think that's his name. But he said that he does not see Caleb Downs as a top 10 pick. And I can tell by your excitement there that you don't think so. But I'd like to ask you guys, what makes y'all think that Caleb Downs could possibly not be considered a top 10 pick? I think he is.
The only thing to me that would be I'm an Ohio State guy, so I've loved watching him the last 2 years. The only thing imaginable why he would fall out of the top 10 is that teams, when he got to Indianapolis and when they got to the visits and their doctors look at the knee that they've said is problematic, that it's worse than anybody knows about. That'd be the only reason I could see him falling down, was that when they actually got in to actually look at it one-on-one, that it was like, man, that's degenerative. That's something that's going to be an issue right away. Because aside from that, there's no issue with the kid. At least in my mind.
Yeah, I agree.
James?
I agree. I don't know. That's probably why he's a former GM too. So I don't know.
A lot of people have Eric. On ESPN. I was watching a show, and they said they remind him of a lot of Eric Berry, the great pick from the Chiefs years ago at safety. And I like Downs. What I like Downs is that he has great instinct. He knows where the ball is. He knows his positioning with his body on players. He knows where he's at. You see a lot of the players today that are safeties. They're extremely athletic. They hit and do all that, but they don't have that instinct. They take bad angles sometimes. I never saw that with Downs. Everything's straight arrow. He knows what he's doing. He's a leader. Ohio State has just got mega talent. So I think that he's going to be a star, and for 5 to 10 years, he's going to be a stud. So I think that would be a great pick for the Saints too.
All right. And
you know what? I went totally different on that for you guys, though, dog.
Yeah,
I went totally different from. I actually.
Who you went? Let me answer this about Mayock quick. I love.
I actually went Cornell Tate. You guys.
Hey, I wouldn't be mad at that because we have great success with wide receivers from Ohio State. So
I don't know if he's going to last that long though.
Yeah, I don't think he'll last that long. But as far as Mr. Mayock saying that he is not a top 10 talent, like you said, Cowboy, we saw when he went from the TV booth to the executive office.
Yeah.
I love him as a TV personality and analyst, but as a front office exec, sir, stop it.
Nada.
And I love Super Sports, man. Love Super Sports.
Yeah. Remember when the Raiders re-signed Derek Carr because they thought Tom Brady was through when he left Tampa or New England. So Tom Brady even said he was stunned that they had done that because he wanted to come to the Raiders. And they just said, no, Derek's our man. So, and don't get me started on Derek Carr. But, that's wow. Still
forever be the man that chose Derek Carr over Tom Brady. Enough said. Let's move on.
Yeah.
All right. That brings us to the Chiefs, the number 9.
James, check your audio.
Oh, my audio?
Yeah, your audio.
I think James is just lagging, period, for a second.
Okay.
James, that brings us to you with number 9 pick, the Chiefs. Not used to picking up this high. The first of 2 first-round picks. They lost both their starting corners. They need help at edge, D tackle, wide receiver, still an issue. So where do you see the proud franchise going at number 9?
I think the Chiefs have more holes than people think and people are saying. But I do like Jordan Tyson, wide receiver out of Arizona State. He didn't get as much publicity because Arizona State, they're not on a lot. But I really like him. I think that you wonder what Mahomes is an old quarterback for his age. He's taken a beating, and I think they need some help there. And I think that would kind of rejuvenate him. So I take Tyson, but I think they also need help on defense. They're getting old in certain situations, and also their cap situation. They had to drop some players and do some things because they were way over the cap. So, but I like Tyson at Arizona State. Arizona State had a lot of talent. I mean, they went to the playoffs and they had a lot of talent. And like I said, Tyson I really like.
Yep. Yeah. Quickly, thoughts, Dahl, for Cowboy on Tyson to the Chiefs.
I wouldn't go Tyson. I'll go Mekhi Lemon.
You like Mekhi Lemon? They need a wide receiver.
When he gets that ball in his hand, he turns into a running back.
Yeah.
Yes, the USC receiver, Mekhi Lemon. That's who I would have went with. But listen, can't get mad at Jordan Tyson either. We know if not for injuries and his inability to work out during this draft process, it's a toss-up between him and Cornell Tate as who will be the first wide receiver off the board. In many feel if he would have worked out during the draft process, he would have been the first receiver taken off the board. But I love that kid, Mekhi Lemon.
Yeah,
absolutely. That brings us to our second first-round pick for the Giants, closing out the top 10. Obviously, we had the Giants taking Carnell Tate with their first pick, so Tate was off the board. So wide receiver need is taken care of. Cowboy, where do you see them going with their second first-round pick?
Man, the Giants need so much now, but they need to pick another running back. But to be honest with you, man, when I did my draft, I still got the Cincinnati Bengals sitting at this spot. When I did this, I'm so sorry. I didn't update my board. But if I had to guess, they'll have to go defense again and pick a safety. And if Caleb Downs is down that far, which I doubt he will, which he's already gone anyway, but they have to go safety. Who that safety would be, I don't know, to be honest with you. I didn't like I said, my board, I have Caleb Downs going to the Chiefs and the Cincinnati Bengals still here sitting at this spot. So I do apologize for that.
All right, so I'll fill in here then for them. We have the Giants needs to put them back up on the board for everybody. Guard, corner, and D tackle. The top corner is still on the board. I think it's a perfect spot for him. I'm going to go Mansour Delane
Yes.
for the Giants at number 10. I think a great fit for what they want to do. When you get that Delane and Tate out of your 2 top 10 picks, I personally think that's a pretty good win. And Harbaugh's hitting the ground running. So, Dolph, you seem to love it. What are your thoughts on Delane?
That's where I was going, man. Mansour Delane is sitting there on the board at 10. The Giants need to run that card up there. No penalties committed in 2025. No touchdowns allowed in 2025. Playing in the SEC. I'm going to say it again. No penalties committed. That's no great. Holding, no pass interference, and no touchdowns allowed. Yeah. Mansour Delane, excellent choice for the Giants here at 10. Like you said, you get the top corner and you get the top wide receiver. Man, that is a haul for the Giants.
And that gives a perfect time to give us a recap for anybody just joining. The first 10 picks are in the book, so I'm going to run down on them quickly. We had the Raiders taking Fernando Mendoza with pick number 1. The New York Jets, we had taking Arvell Reese at number 2. The Cardinals took another edge, David Bailey for the Cardinals. The Titans taking Jeremiah Love, which seems to get mocked there a lot. The Giants, with their first pick, took Carnell Tate. The Browns, trying to solidify the offensive line, took Spencer Fano. The Commanders took Reuben Bain Jr. The Saints, Caleb Downs. Dolph ran that card up. We should have timed him on his 40 with that. The Chiefs took Jordan Tyson, and we just had the Giants taking Mansour Delane.
Hold on. I wish I was in Pittsburgh and I was the guy running the card up there. I'm telling you, I'll set a world record for the fastest handoff of a card in draft history. If that was me. So my question is, so we got who the Commanders take?
The Commanders took. Hold on,
Reuben Bain.
Reuben Bain Jr.
Okay.
Sonny Styles is still on the board, which I can't believe because James had tried to take him with 5 different teams. James didn't have the pick at that one. So I imagine whenever James' next pick is, I'm gonna make James be the Cowboys. So we'll start with the Dolphins at number 11. The Dolphins have a lot of needs. We joked last week on the show that when we had needs, we could have put everything. Dolph bristled at that a little bit and said they're a little bit better than people think. Dolphins, number 11. What do you see them doing with their first of 2 first-round picks?
For the Dolphins, man, they need a lot, of course. Yeah. But like I said, I still think they're more talented than people think. So for the Giants, man, I'm talking about the Giants. For the Dolphins, I'm going to go edge, man. I need the top edge. I need the top edge player who's on the board right now. So
you're gonna take Sonny Styles? You're gonna jump James?
I'm going. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do that. If Sonny Styles is there, they are happy on South Beach. Nobody saw that happening. So I'm gonna take Sonny Styles. Now, if this was to happen, we all would be like, what the hell happened? Why the free fall? But yeah, Sonny Styles. I'm taking Sonny Styles for the Dolphins. Fan Nation, stand up, baby, and you're welcome.
All right, so James, I need your reaction. Your man just got picked the pick before you had the Cowboys, which I'm sure would have been a great fit. So your thoughts on Sonny Styles finally going off our board to the Dolphins at number 11?
I think it'd be great. In my draft, I had Delaney going here because I didn't have him going before. But I think that's a great pick for the Dolphins. Yeah. The Dolphins have a lot of holes too. I mean, they could use help everywhere. So they have a lot of things. And to me, this is the time when you don't really go for need. You go for the best player. I've always been bothered by teams that draft for need. If I need a linebacker or edge rusher at number 10 and I don't think he's a number 10 talent, I don't draft him. I want a number 10 talent that's an edge rusher, or I either trade down or I buy someone else. I want them to be that talented. So I had, like I said, his name, Mayagoa going to the previous pick, the offensive tackle from Miami. But I love Delaney though. I think, or Delane, how they pronounce his name. He's a real talent. And I know LSU had their issues this year and some negativity and stuff, but that guy's a talent, and I really like him.
Yeah, I had the same thing. I had same thing with I had an offensive lineman going to Miami Dolphins. Managoa, either Fano, Spencer Fano. I guess that's how you say his last name. Is that Fano, Fano.
Yeah.
I got the Dolphins got to start somewhere. They got to start protecting these quarterbacks, man. I don't care who they bring in. They got to start protecting them. You can't have them running all the time, which is why I think Tua did not have like the best career there. They never solidified that offensive line. They got the skilled players in there. They got the quarterback, but they couldn't protect them. So they got to start building that offensive line. I mean, you got to start somewhere. You know, whether you've worked for the inside out or outside in, offensive lineman is where I think they need to go.
All right, and that brings us to the Cowboys, who have a lot of defensive needs after historically bad season on defense last year and trading away Micah Parsons. So this is their first of 2 first-round picks. Their other is at 20. So, James, we have cornerback, safety, linebacker, edge. Where do you see them going at number 12?
What sucks with this pick right here is now you start seeing people that they're not worth this pick. Mm-hmm. There's not a lot of defenders in my draft left that I think are that high of a talent. So that's where kind of this sucked. To me, I do like Thieneman out of the safety out of Oregon. I think he's another instinctual. He has a lot of instinct. He has a lot of talent, and I really like him. So I would take him here. But boy, there's Caden Proctor. Out of Alabama, the monster tackle could be taken. But like I said, if I'm Dallas, I move up and I get Sonny Styles, and then in the back end, I'll get an edge rusher because there's so many edge rushers in this draft. But right now, that's who I would go with. Thieneman, the safety out of Oregon.
I love that pick. I think he's an underrated guy in this one. That's gonna whoever gets him, they're gonna be very happy. So I think that's a great pick by James. And what James said too, and that's where the teams that are really great, they marriage need and draft position instead of just reaching for, oh God, we need this. So I think that's a smart move here. Safety's maybe not a prime position, but he's easily the second best safety on the board. Every other defensive position's been already 3 or 4 deep. So again, need and marriage working out here. Dolph, quick thoughts on Thieneman to the Cowboys.
It's a good pick, but Jermod McCoy, cornerback from Tennessee, is on the board. Missed the entire season. If not, I'm taking Jermod McCoy. The Cowboys need help in that secondary at the worst way right now. Other than Blaine, man, they need help on corner. They need help at safety. And remember, I know that I believe Sonny Styles is gone in our mock draft, but I love Thieneman. I think he'll be a good pick, but I just think the need is more. They need more. It's needed more on the corner. So I would have went Jamal McCoy.
Yeah. All right. Yeah, that's what my pick was at Jamal. And they won't be wrong going with either one safety or a corner.
No.
They just got torched last season. I wouldn't be surprised if they were the team that gave up the most passing yards on with their corners and safety. So I'm gonna research that, matter of fact. But they wouldn't be wrong going with either cornerback or safety at that pick.
All right, and that brings us to the Rams, who were, speaking of corner, I really think cornerbacks away from being Super Bowl champions last year. They went out and addressed that in a big way by getting both of the Chiefs starting corners on their roster. So Cowboy, that puts us at 13 with the Rams. We have receiver, tackle, quarterback, just obviously not in the first round, but starting to think of the future, and then tight end. So what do you have with the Rams here at 13?
Oddly enough, they got this pick from Atlanta. But I got the Rams going with the offensive tackle on this one, Monroe Fielding, out of Georgia. This guy here is, I'm talking about, you talking about size, footwork of a ballerina. You know, I don't remember how many sacks. I don't think he gave up any sacks last season. So I know some of these Georgia fans in here, they may be able to tell me better, but I don't think he gave up any sacks last year. And they need to, the Rams need to start. They got the skill players that they need at every position. So they need to go ahead and start protecting these guys so they can get more production in the run game. And I think they need to go off of the tackle with Monroe Fielding. I mean, this guy he's big, athletic. I mean, he's that guy that you want to put out on a pulling guard type guy. He's that guy. If you want a guy leading the run, he is that guy. He's nasty. But I like Monroe Fielding at this spot.
James, I know you're on the offensive line train here, so you like that pick for the Rams?
Yeah, I do. I think Proctor is is the guy that I would kind of like, but in my draft, I have Mekhi Lemon going here. I think that the Rams need. Stafford has that weirdness where he has that one or two guys that he loves to throw to, and he doesn't throw to anybody else. And I think they desperately need another guy that could take a little bit of the pressure off of Nakua. And with his legal issues, you wonder what's going on with him. But Mekhi Lemon would be my pick here for the Rams. The Rams could go either way. A great tight end out of Oregon, who I just absolutely love. And so the Rams are at a great position this in the middle of the draft where they could pick who they want, and they're probably going to be there. So this can be a good draft for the Rams.
I think it'd be a sneaky spot for the one tight end to go in the first round as well here. You talk about weapons for Stafford. I think it'd be a pretty good spot for Sadiq to go and kind of be able to easily into that.
Kenyon Sadiq. Yeah, I'm bad on names. But Kenyon, I love the way he plays. He's physical, little reckless, he'll make some airhead mistakes once in a while, but he's just a real physical player. I really like him. A lot of energy. So he's good. I love youthful energy. So physical, good player.
Dolph. Yeah. We're moving on to the Ravens. I know you were talking
about this kid, but
corner, offensive line receiver for the Ravens, Dolph. Your guy's still there at corner. So who do you have the blue, purple, and black taking at number 14?
Kenyon Sadiq. What does Jackson like? He likes throwing the ball to the tight end. Andrews is getting older. Likely is gone. The third string tight end is gone. This is a perfect landing spot. Kenyon Sadiq to the Ravens.
Cowboy, thoughts on Sadiq going to the Ravens?
Man, I like Kenyon Sadiq going anywhere. He's by far, and no disrespect to Ruben Bain from the Miami Hurricanes, but this kid is by far my favorite player in this whole entire draft. Just what this kid did in the combine alone. I mean, he wasn't that productive as far as on the field, but that's because he was playing behind two other guys too. He didn't really get his real true season until last year. But when he hit the field running. And I mean, you're talking about a guy who ran at 240 pounds, and I'm one of these guys. I'm not big on the 40-yard dash, right? But when you get a 240-pound guy come in and put up numbers that are faster than every running back in the draft. I mean, he even outdid what's your kid over in Miami? Jeremiah Gibbs. He even outran him. He outran Bijan Robinson, outran McCaffrey. I mean, the only guy he didn't outrun in history was Vernon Davis, and he was only off that by about a 1/10 of a second. So this guy here in the weight room, 40-yard dash, the high jump, he plays like he was a running back or wide receiver. So, but I like this kid. I don't care where he goes. I'm behind him. I'm watching him next season.
And I don't think Sadiq is 313 pounds. So
no, 240 pounds.
On that one, but my goodness, he'd be a beast running that fast, 313 with a 4.3. Hey. That's my bad on that one, but Oh my goodness! I just looked at it. I'm like,
Could you
oh,
imagine that though?
oh, that's a creative player in Madden where you made like the biggest
yeah.
guy possible at
But
99 speed.
What's funny is right now there's actually somebody tuned in who's actually looking that up right now. Like there's no way.
We're gonna get a couple posts. You guys, he's on a 313.
313 pounds, huh?
Oh goodness! All right, that brings
This
us
guy
to the
does it all, man. Lock.
brings us to the Buccaneers. Edge, cornerback, D tackle, linebacker. So a lot of defense needed. James, do you have him going anywhere different? Like, I know you have a few offensive linemen you are still high on that are available. So where do you see the Bucs going at 15?
For the Ravens, I like Fano or Sadiq. I like Fano. I think he's a great offensive lineman, and I think he would be good for here. Omar Cooper is a great wide receiver. I thought that overall, maybe this side of Ohio State, Indiana, I watched Indiana most of their games all year. Their receivers do not drop balls. I mean, they ran amazing routes, and they know how to play football. And it's fun to watch those guys play. And I love Cooper. I think he's underrated, and I think that he would be a good pick as well. But I'm going to take Fano here. He's still on my draft, but I'm going to switch it. I talked myself into Cooper. I'm going to pick Cooper here for Tampa.
All right, Cooper. And, they lost Mike Evans last year.
Yep.
Godwin seems to get hurt every other year. So
yeah.
They're bringing up Omar Cooper for the Buccaneers, keeping that offense humming along. Brings us to the Jets with their second of their first-round picks. As a reminder, they took Arvell Reese at number 2 for us. Dolph, where do you have the Jets going with their second first-round pick?
Here's where the second quarterback comes off the board. Ty Simpson to the Jets. I'll take Ty Simpson right here. I think the Jets take Ty Simpson right here. Perfect spot to take him. Second best quarterback in this draft. So, yeah, Ty Simpson to the Jets with pick 16.
All right, so we talk about curveballs. I think that's our first big one here. Ty Simpson not even going in the top half of the draft.
Thanks, Dolph.
Simpson to the Jets.
Hey.
I like this. I like that. I like this. I actually had Ty Simpson going to the Cardinals, but this here is a good spot for him too as well. But the Jets need some of everything. I mean, they wouldn't be bad getting Kenyon Sadiq, Kendrick Falk, or Vega. But I like that starting with that quarterback, getting somebody they can build around. They need somebody. They couldn't go wrong with just going all over the board, just picking somebody. I think they just need to put the names in the hat and just draw straws, draw slips and see who they pick up and just go with it.
James, Ty Simpson to the Jets. Your thoughts on that one?
I think that Dolph might be right, and I think it'd be a horrible pick. I do not like Ty Simpson. He wasn't that good at Alabama. I mean, when he played the bigger teams, he struggled. He struggles with the pass rush. He struggles staring down receivers. I don't like Ty Simpson in any way. So I think Nussmeier's better than Simpson. I just don't like Ty Simpson at all. I think they're hyping him up with a lot of PR, and I just I would not pick him in the second or third round. So to be honest, I don't think he's a pro quarter, but I think they will. I think they will pick him. I think Dolph's right. I would take Denzel Boston, the wide receiver out of Washington. He was a touchdown maker, and Washington was down. But he still was kind of the core of that offense, and I really like him. I think he's a good player, and I think he would be a good fit for the Jets. And again, like Cowboy was saying, the Jets have tons of holes. I can't believe the first year Aaron Rodgers was there, they were talking Super Bowl, how many Super Bowls they were going to win. The media just went nuts, and I'm thinking they ain't even going to make the playoffs. So, and of course, all the drama they had didn't. So New York does it like no other. But I like Boston, but there's really no there's some do they take their offensive line has had issues. So do you take Freeling from Georgia here because he's still on my board? So, but that's who I would take. I'd take Boston.
No, in defense of this, like I'm of the belief if you don't have a quarterback, I swing until I hit it. And if you have 2 first-round picks, you're playing with house money. You already took your impact guy at number 2. And if the Jets do that, I hope they do it intelligently, because if they throw him out there at the start of the year with the team they currently have, he's going to get shell-shocked to the point that his career is ruined. That's the whole point of bringing Geno Smith back in, was to take the hits and the lumps. So I hope if they go this route that they're smart enough to let him sit and learn, and maybe at the end of the year, the last handful of games, they let him once he's been there for 15, 16 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, I could see them 100%. I thought they'd be a trade back into the end of the first candidate to get him. So Dolph just didn't, like, I'm not giving up any resources. I'm going to get him anyway. So until you get your quarterback, I don't think there's anything wrong with drafting your quarterback.
Yeah, I to me, like I said, if he doesn't warrant a 17th pick the way I draft, I don't pick him. And I don't think he warrants a 17th pick. Do the Jets? I think they do. So I think they will pick him. And hopefully the guy gets, like you said, he gets babied along. He doesn't get thrown out into the into the weeds. And I think that's why the Raiders, I think, are going to handle Mendoza with kid gloves. And I think that's how you do it. Get Cousins in there, let him start, and then have Mendoza take over. So in the olden days, that's how they do it. But in the salary cap, issues with the money and everything, you have to play these guys quick. And it's a disservice to them because some of them get ruined.
All right, and that brings us to the Detroit Lions and Cowboy. We got the Lions on the board. Missed the playoffs last year. We have edge, D tackle, offensive tackle, and corner. What do you see them doing at 17?
Yeah, you know why they couldn't make the playoffs last year? Because their offensive line couldn't hold up. They couldn't hold up. And when you look at the Lions franchise as a whole, there's not a whole lot that they need. And when you get yourself in that position, you got to start building your offensive line. You got to start developing the trenches. And with this pick right here, I got Caleb Lemieux out of Utah, offensive tackle. This kid here, I mean, lateral footwork, can't act for long arms. And he's one of these guys that he's smart. He's one of these guys that gets to the second level. He blocks very well. He protects the blind side. He plays both sides and protects the blind side just as well as he protects the other side. So Caleb Lemieux out of Utah was the pick.
I love that pick for them. I agree with you. The Lions fell off because of their offensive line issues. When you thought of them when they were in the championship game, it was that offensive line just dominating people. So James, you're shaking your head. I think you like that pick there.
I like it too. Monroe Freeling is still on my board because I used I got Cooper going to the Jets, so I'm taking Freeling here. I think their offensive, they forgot what brung them a little bit, and I think they got a little bit of a big head, and it bit them because they thought we're just a juggernaut. We're good. We'll plug and play a couple linemen, and it didn't work. They got to go back to what brung them. And as they used to say, I think Woody Hayes said that. I can't remember. But you have to go back to basics. And their basics was the championship game. Their offensive line was good. And that's why they need another offensive lineman here. So I like Cowboys pick or this pick.
Dolph, if it's not a lineman, like where would you see them going? Is Ed somebody alongside Hutchinson the next area of need in your mind if they didn't go offensive line?
Yeah, if they didn't go offensive line, that would be it. But I would have a different pick for him here. I would go to Penn State and I would take Olivevica Aying, the guard. I would take the big guard from Penn State, man, put him next to Penei Sewell, and let's roll.
Yeah, but you did a great job saying that name. I wasn't even going to try to say his name. So
I'm still shocked. I can't even say his first name.
Goodness.
Hey, man.
I called him Ola. So he's older than me.
Yeah.
The good thing for announcers,
it wouldn't be wrong with going.
Yeah, being an offensive
Yeah,
lineman,
they
they
would
don't
be-
have to say their name very often. So that
Yeah.
all right. That brings us to the Vikings, who have the miniature man at quarterback and Kyler Murray. They need safety, center, wide receiver, guard. Dolph, where do you see the Vikings going at number 18?
Number 18, Vikings, man. Listen, we know they're losing their safety. His retirement here. Well, I would have took Thielman, but I see that he's already off the board.
Mm-hmm.
So the next safety on the board that I would go with is from the University of Toledo. I would go Emmanuel McNeil Warren here for the Vikings. 6'2", he ain't 253. That's a big safety, 253.
Did I do the card wrong again? I hope I didn't do the card wrong again. That's my bad if I did.
We'll have it right on Thursday.
253.
I
can see him being 253. He's a big man.
Yeah, he's a big boy now. Big boy.
But yeah, obviously Harrison Smith retiring. James, your thoughts on them getting that safety position filled with Emmanuel McNeil Warren?
I think it's a perfect pick for him. I think it kind of replenishes the safety position for them, and they've always had some good safeties back there. They're a good defensive team usually, but I think this is and he's a plug and play. I think he'll play very quickly. So I love the pick.
Thank you, appreciate it.
Cowboy, your thoughts on safety there for the Vikings?
Yeah, this is a perfect pick for them. It's not just a pick; it's a need for the Vikings. I mean, this is one that you want to solidify what you're losing, and this is the perfect pick for them.
All right, brings us to the Panthers, our first playoff team in their slot here. Obviously, won the South, gave the Rams a run for their money in the wild card round. Bryce Young kind of taking a step forward in his development in year 3. So we have safety, wide receiver, edge, and running back as needs here. Cowboy, Carolina Panthers, and you at 19. What do you see them doing? The Cowboy freeze.
You on the clock?
I got
okay. You there?
No, I'm not frozen.
All right. Cowboy, what you got for the Panthers in 19?
Froze?
Nah, you good. We hear you. You good.
Yeah, the Panthers. Yeah, I got them going with offensive line. Blake Miller out of Clemson.
Nice.
It's going to be my pick here. Nice. But they got to protect the young man. He was on the run a lot last year, so I got them going with offensive tackle.
Okay, I'm mad at that, Blake Miller.
And somebody with the stature of Young, like he can't have people in his face pushing up there. So a great strong pick there for the Panthers. And we've talked about this whole process so far of when in doubt, just solidify the lines on either side. You can't go wrong when you're doing that. That brings us to the Cowboys with their second pick. And since, James, you did their first round pick, we'll have you do their second as well. The Cowboys at 20. Who you got for them there?
Boy, I'm kind of struck at two of here's my notes. I'm stuck with offensive and defensive tackle. A defensive line. I'm like you guys. I think that when all else fails, go for the offensive line or defensive line, either one. So, let me see who I had for my pick. I had Peter Woods, defensive tackle for Clemson, going here. I like Clemson. Reminds me a lot of Miami when it comes to the defensive line. They're just very physical. They're very in your face. They're always going forward, and I really liked Woods. I think he was a good player. I know that the Harbaughs are really high on him, and there's a lot of rumors from Chargers podcasters and writers that Woods is going to go to the Chargers, but I think he's going to go a little bit earlier than that. So I take Woods.
I love that pick. He's one of my ones that I could want my Bills to take at 26 if he's there. He feels the need for us. So I love that pick. Dolph, thoughts on Peter Woods going, to helping that defense out that needs everything across the board?
Yeah, that'll be a good addition, but they need to affect the quarterback up front too. They need a pass rush. So I would have went. You already addressed the outside corner. I'm sticking on defense because we already explosive on offense. I'm going with. I got to affect that quarterback. I would have went with Auburn edge rusher Keldrick Falk.
Yeah, I like Falk as well. Cowboy, quick, your thoughts on the Cowboys. Yeah. All right, that brings us to the Steelers. We talk about big nasty.
Yeah, the first pick they picked. Yeah.
And a fan base.
I think the Cowboys are I'm not going to say they have their problem fixed.
Okay. The Steelers, the offensive line, defensive line, a fan base that is one of the few that won't boo those types of things. They'll embrace them and the mentality there. Dolph, Steelers, where do you see them going, assuming Aaron Rodgers is coming back?
Hey, like you said, this may be the only fan base that is excited to get a big nasty up front, baby. And we got one of the biggest nasty still on the board right now from the University of Alabama with the 19th pick in the weekly wrap, a football podcast mock draft. The Pittsburgh Steelers select Big O. Moving a mountain, baby. Caden Proctor, baby. Welcome to the Steel City, baby. Steeler Nation. Let's get it, baby. Let's go. We got our man. Caden Proctor. Let's go.
I think that's a perfect fit for them, James.
I had Proctor already off the board, so I can't give you him, but I'm going for Ola Vega Iowani. He's my guy here. I think he's a perfect pick for the Steelers. They love their offensive linemen. And like you said, they're one of the few fan bases that gets it, that will not have a problem going offensive line in a draft. I really love him here. I think he's got a lot of talent. And Caden Proctor, to me, is just – he's one of those guys that's either going to be a superstar or a bust. But I love Caden Proctor, so I had him going a lot earlier. But Ola's a great pick here for the Steelers, and he's kind of all Steelers. They like these types of players. So that's who I got.
Yeah.
Cowboy, Caden Proctor, thoughts?
Yeah, this is a great pick for him. You saw how many times Aaron Rodgers went on the run last year and ended up having to throw the ball away. How many times he went to yelling at his offensive line. So with a pick like this, it probably lessen the amount of time that Aaron Rodgers have to yell at his guys and tell them to get blocked and the penalties that they incurred last year. I mean, it was more of a freak show than anything. So it probably less of a headache if they go offensive line. That's a great pick.
All right, and brings us to the Chargers, somebody who also loves offensive line. Harbaugh, he loves his dirty men down there getting things done. So we have the Chargers on the board. Oh, my goodness, I forgot who I've left off with. James, we'll go with you on this one, the Chargers. We have guard, defensive tackle, edge, tight end, wide receiver. What do you see them doing at 22?
I like Zion Young from Missouri. I think he would be a good pick here. He's got I think he's going to be a better pro than college player. And I think when you have someone as good as Harbaugh coaching you on defense, he's an absolute magician. I think that what's killed the Chargers is their injuries. Every year they have several key injuries, and it kills them. And I think that Khalil Mack's going to be around another year, hopefully. And, hopefully they'll stay healthy, but I like him here. I think he was an underrated player. Missouri had a really good year this year, and I think that he was a part of that. So he's not a superstar, one of these guys that's going to fly off, but I think he would be a good pick.
And we see the comp there we have is Trey Hendrickson. I mean, if that's what he turns out to be, I think that'd be a Charger be very happy with that. Dolph,
oh God,
your thoughts on Young to the Chargers?
I can't be mad. I would have went edge too, and Zion Young is a good is a good pick, but there's still a player on the board from the University of Miami. Throw up your Cowboy, represent, baby. I don't know how y'all just keep overlooking him, but I want him to take it. He's still on the board, baby. Akeem Mesidor. So I'm telling you, he's still on the board. Somebody's about to get an excellent young player, an excellent young prospect. Let's keep it going.
Yeah.
All right. Moving along to the Eagles, a team that kind of after winning the Super Bowl had a fallen out there. They need edge still after letting Jalen Phillips walk after trading for him. Maybe looking to get some of their aging long in the tooth guys replaced, and Dallas Goedert and Lane Johnson. Cowboy, Philadelphia Eagles. What do you see them doing here at 23?
There's a lot of, I don't say, there are several different ways that they can go right here with the Eagles, and they can pretty much roll the dice too. And but I got them going with Akeem Mesidor. He fixed that offense. That defense perfectly. He fits it. But I also have them going with the offensive line too with their second choice. But I got if like you said, they let go
Jalen Phillips.
And so they got to get another player in there with if not more energy, at least as much energy. And Akeem Mesidor is that guy.
See, so Dolph, you should just go get a job as an NFL salesman. You just sold Cowboy on him the pick before, so obviously you're happy with this one.
I got to get my Hurricanes in.
How do you like to fit, Dolph, with Akeem and the Eagles?
Love it, man. How can you not love the fit of him going there to the Eagles? He would just add to that young tandem that they have on the defensive side of the ball, and just be another nightmare for offensive coordinators to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And James, your thoughts on Mesidor to the Eagles, quick?
I like the pick too. I went a different way, but I really think that that would be a great pick for them. I think what's interesting about the way the Eagles draft is they draft not only for the present, but they also draft for the future. If they know that they're going to be losing a player in a year or two, or if a player's getting older, a lot of times they'll draft in the first, second round to replace that player early. And I think that's an interesting way to draft. So for me, I would go Blake Miller, offensive tackle, Clemson. I think he's a very solid player. The guy played mostly at tackle, but he's interchangeable. He's durable. He doesn't miss games. He's just one of those steady players that is really good. And I love those type of guys. So I could see them. I think either pick would be okay, but I really like Blake Miller.
All right. And that brings us to the Browns. We're 3/4 of the way through. The Browns already had a first-round pick way back at number 6. They took Spencer Fano. They got the offensive line going. I'm going to take this one. I haven't done many yet, so I'm going to give you guys a little bit of a break. Plus, there's somebody I really like to fit for here. He's still on our board. Mekhi Lemon to the Browns. Dolph's been talking about him for a while, loving him. Jerry Jeudy. My jury's still out on him, whether he's a true number 1. But they give him a great weapon for whoever's under center for the Browns. So they have somebody protect the quarterback. Now they give whoever the quarterback is another weapon in Mekhi Lemon. So, Dolph, quickly, we'll go to you first. Thoughts on him to the Browns?
You muted, Dolph.
While he's doing that, James, your thoughts on Mekhi Lemon to the Browns?
Mekhi Lemon went a long time ago for me. Yeah. I really like him. So if he stayed this long, I would love the pick. But for me, I'm taking Jermon McCoy, the cornerback out of Tennessee. I think Dolph had him going a little bit earlier, if I remember. And I really like his ball skills. And I really like who he is on the field. He's got great instinct, great ball skills, a ball hawk, and I really like him. So had a little bit of injury bug, and I think he had an ACL injury. So, but he's a really good player. So I like him for the Browns.
Yeah,
Dolph, if you're back with us, your thoughts on Lemon to the Browns?
Man, if Lemon's on the board at 24, man, that'd be just look. It would be, to me, it would be between Lemon And another receiver we're really sleeping on, but could turn out to be the best in this group, KC Concepcion from Texas A&M. It comes down, these are two of the best run after catch players in the draft, along with I believe Ted Hurst from Georgia State, who's looked at as a day 2 prospect. But I like Mekhi Lemon here, and it looks like, and I predict that the starting quarterback for the Cleveland Browns in 2026 will be Watson.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Guaranteed contract, right?
I'm telling
All right,
you.
that brings us to number 25. The surprising Chicago Bears made it to the division round last year, winning the division. Caleb Williams took a big step forward with Ben Johnson as his head coach and kind of man in the locker room with him. So, Dolph, we'll go to you for the Bears. What do you see them doing with their first pick of the draft?
Safety, offensive line, D tackle, edge. I'm going to go with edge, man, and I'm going to pick a young man from College Station, man. I'm going to go with Cassius Howell, edge from Texas A&M here.
All right, Cowboy, thoughts on Howell to the Bears?
I actually don't have a thought for him on going to the Bears. But the Bears is another one of the teams that have a need rather on at just about every position on defense. So going defense is one of those things that that I mean they actually need a bigger linebacker in my book. I mean this guy here is what sitting there. He's not 253, is it?
Wow, yeah, he big.
But they actually do need a bigger linebacker. I think he's a good one. But I think they need more of a dynamic player than somebody that can come in and command, not command, but be a almost day one starter for them too, and not a developmental guy. But the Bears need some help on defense, and you can go just about pick any position and just go with it.
And James, well, what did you have them doing there for the Bears at 25?
First off, I love I love his speed, and he's very quick side to side. So I think he would be a great pick. I love Texas A&M defenders, especially their linebackers and their edge rushers. So I think that's a great pick. For me, I'm going to go to Max. God, isn't there any Smiths or Martins in this draft? Max Nakar out of Arizona State, offensive tackle. I think in the Bay Area, where in San Francisco Bay Area where we are, there is a lot of talk of the 49ers picking him, and they love him, and a lot of fans are hoping that he drops, but I think he would be a great pick for the Bears. I already have a DL edge guy going to the Bears, so that's why I'm going offensive tackle here.
Max Enacher.
There you go. Dolphin needs to translate. Yeah, needs to translate my talking. So
I'm going to have Dolph just dub anything that's hard to say and just speak over my voice like the voice of God.
We apologize, players or anybody in the media, if you're listening. We don't mean to butcher these, but I'm not good on. I could barely say my own. So,
all right, that brings up my Buffalo Bills. I'm obviously going to take this one. Wide receiver, edge, linebacker are needs for the Bills. I would have taken Cassius Howell, I believe, there if he would have still stayed for the Bills. I'm not in love with the other people at edge at this point for Buffalo. They don't have a second-round pick after trading it for DJ Moore, which to me, in Brandon Beane's history, I think back a few years ago, they traded back in a similar spot and out of the first round to get Keon Coleman with the first pick of the second. If Ty Simpson falls down to here, I could see us being a target of teams in the second round to come up and move up and get them. But seeing as there's no trades in this, I'm going to stick it with offense. I'm going to stick a wide receiver. I'm going to have the Bills taking KC Concepcion, a wide receiver, to put in there with DJ Moore, Khalil Shakir, Josh Palmer, Dalton Kincaid, James Cook, and obviously Josh Allen, the MVP. So they finish off the offense. They kind of be like, let's just make it as strong as it can be. So, Dolph, your thoughts on Concepcion to the Bills?
I love it, man. Able to make plays with the ball in his hands after the catch. You add Kelsey, you already have added DJ Moore. You got two head monster at tight end and Cook in the backfield. You got the MVP. That offense looking real good. Now, if they were to go defense, there's a cornerback sitting there named Chris Johnson. I'm just saying. But I love the KC Concepcion pick because now you totally revamped that wide receiver core with DJ Moore, Concepcion, Knox, Kincaid, and Cook. Man, that just on paper, man, that's you give the former MVP, you give him a lot of weapons, man. And that to me, that would be lethal for teams in the AFC.
Cowboy.
Yep. Yeah, this puts Josh Allen back in the where he was when he second or third year in when he had all those weapons. He had the bookends at the wide receiver, he had the dual quarterback running back. So this puts him back where he has weapons at his disposal, right? But if I would have went defense, it definitely would have been the linebacker Jacob Rodriguez. But I would have went like Dolph said, I would go offense first, work on that offense, get it back to where it's operating like a locomotive.
And James, your thoughts quick on the Concepcion to the Bills.
I like it, but I think that defense wins championships. And I think that is what, if you look at the times when the Bills have lost, it hasn't been because of their offenses. They've given up last-minute drives. They've struggled. And I want defense. In my draft, Kedrick Falk is still there from Auburn, edge rusher. I think he's talented, he's raw, and I think with good defensive coaching, he's one of those versatile players that could play every down, and I really like him. I think Auburn was overlooked because they stunk, but he was a very good player, and I really like him, so that's who I would go with.
And the reason I didn't go defense as well is if you remember last year's draft, Buffalo spent essentially every single resource they had on that side of the ball. The first 4 picks, all defense. So still rookie, young guys. The year before that, we had Dwayne Carter, who was hurt all last year. Signed Bradley Chubb, D. Alford, 2 safeties. So they spent so much on defense, and they have spent that the last 4 or 5 years. And like you said, James, they still fail in the playoffs. So I'm hoping like the scheme change with Jim Leonard is going to be the difference there, that they're going to play aggressive instead of passive when the moment comes. But we'll move on to the San Francisco 49ers. We talked about injuries earlier up front for the Chargers. My goodness, every year the Niners just seem to go through the gauntlet of injuries. They cannot stay healthy. And they still end up right with the best teams at the end of the year. Just shows how great a coach Shanahan is and what type of team and depth John Lynch has put together there. So we'll go to Dolph on this one. The 49ers, Dolph, what do you see them doing here at 27?
I'm about to throw a wild card out there. The first wild card, I'm going to go with Caden McDonald, D tackle, Ohio State. I believe the last few seasons that 49ers defense has regressed. We saw what happened to them in the playoffs against the eventual Super Bowl champion Seahawks. I believe they need to start getting their identity back on defense. So I would take Caden McDonald, D tackle from Ohio State.
I love that one. Cowboy, thoughts on him to the Niners?
Yeah, I like that pick too. You brought your new defensive coordinator in, so you want to give him all the weapons that he needs, and so he can be successful. I like this at Caden Proctor, for that. Not defensive coordinator, a new offensive coordinator. So you want to give him all the defensive tackle. That's what I'm talking about. Raheem Morris is over there now. Yeah. So you want to give him all his weapons. Sure up that middle. Let's start right there and build all the way out. Because they weren't bad on defense. They weren't bad. They just gave up like the Bills gave up key plays at the wrong times of the season, wrong times of the game. So, that's.
And James,
good pick
where did you have them going there for the Niners?
I hate the 49ers, but I'm in the Bay Area, so I know a lot about them. But Akeem Messidor is still there for me, so I pick him, but I do love the pick. I think that the 49ers never have enough defenders. They are obsessed with the front eight, which I love on defense. So they're always, if you notice, they always go through a ton of defensive linemen, and they're always drafting defensive linemen. So, or linebackers. So I love the pick. I think it was Dolph's pick. I love it, but Messidor's still there, and I know he's older, and they say, wow, I can't believe at 25 you're washed up, but he's 25, and he gets injured sometimes, but I really like him as a player. So I think the 49ers go defense for sure. Everybody is saying they're going to go offensive tackle, but at that level, I don't think they're going to get an elite one. So they may go, I think they're going to go defense too. So, and I think it would be a good move. That's what the 49ers emphasis is, running the ball and defense.
Yep. All right. That brings us to the Texans. You talk about somebody who loves defense. The Texans, my goodness, with D'Amico Ryans, their defense is one of the best in the league, if not the best on all levels. So Cowboy, we have a lot of offensive needs listed for them. Do you see them continuing to build on the defense, or do you see them trying to get the offense going?
Are we talking about the 49ers?
We're on the Texans now.
We're talking about the Texans.
Yes, sir.
We're on the Texans. The Texans need to go defense. They need to go defense. Of course, they wouldn't be hurt for them to go offense as well, but they need to go defense. Because I think they were with the first pick. Was it the first pick that they what did they grab on first pick?
This is their first one.
They grabbed the offensive lineman. But yeah, I will go defense on this. I will go defense on this pick.
This is their first pick.
And I had Caden McDonald on at this.
Okay.
Yeah. So you had Caden McDonald going here?
Okay,
I'm thinking about Tennessee Titans. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm thinking about Tennessee Titans. But yeah, I had Caden McDonald at this spot. But if they wanted to go grab another D tackle, I would choose Lee Hunter. If he's still on the board.
He's still there.
Out of Texas Tech.
All right, Lee Hunter to the Texans, continuing to solidify that defense. So, Dolph, thoughts on that? Just them continuing to make that the strength of their team.
Yeah, I like it. I would have went defense too. I'd have went another big ugly up front, man. I would have went Christian Miller, but Lee Hunter was still on the board. Lee Hunter, Christian Miller here. Caleb Banks is still on the board. So there are many ways to go. And like you say, you just improve, or even you just improve the strongest unit on your team, the defense. So yeah, I love that selection. Lee Hunter to the Texans. Man, that'll be a real good selection for them.
Yes, it would. All right, that brings us to the Chiefs and their second pick of the first round at number 9. We had them taking Jordan Tyson. So they got their offensive weapon help there. James, the Chiefs at 29, where do you see them going this time in the first round?
I think they're going to take Colton Hood here. I think he falls into them. They've had changes with their cornerbacks. They always overpay them, and then they end up having to get rid of them. And so they're always having to replace them. And I think he's the pick here for me.
All right, Colton Hood will get his sheet up here quick. So Dolph and Cowboy, your thoughts on him?
I like the pick. Like Lauren said, both of their
I like that as well.
Yeah, both of their cornerbacks are starting for the Rams. The Rams got both of the Chiefs starting cornerbacks, which you don't see every day. But like I said earlier, with the Chiefs, they need to affect the passer. So with that, I would have went here. I would have went because there are a lot. I think you could get good corners in the second. I would have went edge rusher from Central Florida, though he's a little older than most of the prospects here. I'd have went with Malachi Lawrence from Central Florida.
All right. And we're closing out on the end here, guys. Everyone joining us, thank you again to come on in Sports Network, the weekly Wrap of Football podcast, joined by James, Cowboy, and Dolph. I'm Lawrence. We are on the end here. We're flying through it. We've been over 100 viewers for the last half an hour, so we thanks thank everybody for dropping in with us tonight. Hope we're having fun as we go through our mock draft. We are at number 30, the Miami Dolphins, with their second first-round pick. With their first pick at number 11, they took Sonny Styles from Ohio State. Dolphins here at 30 with their second first-round pick. What do you see them doing?
I'm going back to the trenches, baby. Caleb Banks, University of Florida. Keep them home in the Sunshine State. And I don't believe I'm doing that, but yeah, Caleb Banks, baby. Caleb Banks.
All right, James, thoughts on Banks to the Dolphins?
Oh, I like it. It's a good pick. I think, again, the Dolphins have definite issues, and I think that in several places. So I think this is a good thing. Another talented player. He's just what I love about these SEC players is they're always speed is the key. And what I love even about the defensive, and I'm not talking 40-yard dash in the combines. I'm talking about on the field, side to side. And that's why a lot of the times they overwhelm other leagues. The Big Ten finally got it, and that's what they're kind of emphasizing, and that's why they've done so well. So I really love this pick. He's really a good player. And some people say, well, I don't like to take seniors or older players, but I just think he's going to be a really good pro. I like him.
All right, we're into the Super Bowl teams now. New England at 31. Cowboy, what do you have the defending AFC champion New England Patriots doing with their first pick of the draft here?
Yeah, you talk about teams that don't need a whole lot. Same thing with the Seattle, same thing with Detroit. These teams that went deep into the playoffs, like you said. But the player that I chose, Zion Young, is already off the board. But I'm going to go with the most underrated edge rusher in this draft, Malachi Lawrence. I think this guy here will be that speedster guy. He incredible bend. I thought Ruben Bain had some bend in him. Malachi had that incredible bend for a guy his size. And you talking about a guy that has all the skill set of an edge rusher. I mean, he does. I'm not gonna say he's perfect, but he's solid. He's that guy that can get the job done. Perfect tackler. Don't miss many.
Dolph, thoughts on Malachi Lawrence to the Patriots?
I don't know. Can you be selected twice? But
he's not been selected twice. He's
I
still on the board.
I just selected Malachi Lawrence.
For who?
For the
No, you
for
did.
the Dolphins. Yeah,
No,
I did.
Caleb Banks was
Oh no, before the Dolphins. Who I did before the Dolphins?
You did Colton Hood to the Chiefs and Lee Hunter to the Texans.
No, I didn't do Lee Hunt. I did
Lee Hunter.
Yeah, he said I
did Lee
Malachi.
Hunter.
Yeah. Well, Malachi is all the boys. All right. So you got all right. I could swear I said them, but
I think you said you would have taken them a few.
Yeah. I think I said I would have taken them. All right. So who we on right now? We on 30, right?
31. The Patriots.
31.
Man, what do they need now? We saw they need weapons. All right, they need weapons. Offensive line, and look, they young tackle. He got exposed in the Super Bowl. To me, he just had a bad day. The kid can play. Right now, at the end of the first round, is there a tackle that's worth taking? I don't think so. So what do you need to do? You need to get more weapons on the perimeter. So I'm gonna take a player who I think is very underrated in this process, but has been climbing draft boards because of his versatility. I'm gonna go here with wide receiver from the University of Alabama, Jeremy Bernard.
Jeremy Bernard, them going there and like that. Especially, after getting rid of Diggs, right? They still need to have some help there. Romeo Doubs went there in free agency. And that brings us to the Super Bowl champions. We've mentioned a few times teams that don't really have any glaring needs. I think the Seattle Seahawks can really go wherever they want to here. And they don't have much ammo in the draft period. So, James, as our special guest, we're going to let you close us out with the final pick of our mock draft. So, Seattle, you're on the clock to close us out, James.
The most forgotten player in college football, Jadarian Price, running back of Notre Dame. This guy is a great player. He didn't get, because of love, he didn't get much of the love, let's say, but he is a really solid player. He's physical, he's tough, and I think he would fit in great for the Seahawks, who lost the Super Bowl MVP to the Chiefs. So I see Price going. I would love Price going to Seattle.
I love that. Dolph thoughts on Price there.
I like it. I like that pick with Price. I like it. Look, the Super Bowl MVP is gone. Zach Charbonnet's coming off an injury. That would be an excellent pick. Him or the kid from Arkansas, Washington. I can see one of those two young men going at the end of the first round to the Seahawks.
Yeah.
And Cowboy.
Yeah.
All right.
That would be actually Mike Washington is my last pick of the first round draft. Mainly because he is that kid that nobody thought he would make it into the first round, but he performed so well at the combine. You have to do what the NFL did with Shedeur Sanders. You know, they predict the second round, but he's too good a player with his marketing to go the second round. So they put him in the first round, get him picked the very last pick of the draft, and that's what I think they're going to do with Mike Washington with that last pick. I think it's still with the performance that I forgot the kid's name, the running back for Seattle. He performed so well. You can say, okay, I can skip this year and go into next year and grab a running back then. But I think bringing Mike Washington in with the skill set he has, the speed that he has, I mean, this would be a perfect pick for them.
All right, and that is a wrap on our first round. So, gentlemen, closing thoughts. We just powered through it in under 2 hours. That's fantastic work by everybody. Closing thoughts. I just want a couple of things I do want to discuss before we leave. People that are left on the board, just if anybody's curious. Wide receiver, we have Denzel Boston, Chris Bell, Jeremy Bernard. Offensive tackles, nobody took Francis Mayoga. That Max has been mentioned but not drafted.
I drafted him.
Yeah,
I drafted him. And I Dolph did too, I think.
Again, I'm only putting down whoever I have picking it, just as our official mock draft. But other names, nobody took Jacob Rodriguez. We'll mention a few times. C.J. Allen, Kristen Miller still left her. Keldrick Falk, Jermon McCoy is still on the board at corner. So, and to me, that's a story of every draft is like people get pushed out of the first round. And that's why this break in between, I think we used to be a 2-day draft, right? We have the first round, then we have an entire day. There's so much movement at the top of the second round because of the players that fell that nobody thought would be there. So I think that's why day 2 is so exciting now. Just there's so much going on there. But just quickly, what was the most surprising thing for this process? That's why I think it's great live. We got to react and do things people pick, maybe somebody we didn't expect. That's why I like doing it live instead of pre-planned where everyone can think it out. So biggest surprises going around the board. James, your biggest surprise from our mock?
Nothing. I think that you guys are knowledgeable, and I think you guys made really good picks. And I think that, to me, a good draft is not necessarily if that guy's a good pick or not, if it is someone that you think is a good pick or not. And that's what I think these teams, if you feel that a guy is good, I'll never forget, and I'm not a genius, but I'll never forget when Jamarcus Russell was a part of the Raiders. ESPN was losing their minds. The NFL was losing their minds, and so were the Raider fans. I was kicked off 2 Raider sites because I said he sucked and he was not going to be a good pro. Oh, my God, you're an idiot. What do you know about football? Well, he's now, I believe, the second worst bust in history. If you don't like a player, you don't draft him. If you like a player, draft him. And if you're a podcaster or you're a writer, stick to your guns. And a lot of times they know a little bit more than us, but like I said, a lot of times we're also right. So stick to your guns. If you like a player, hang with them. So all you Ty Simpson fans, don't leave me any hate. If you think he's good to go, he's good to go. So, but it's always fun to see who's right and who's wrong. But I enjoy this kind of stuff.
Yeah. Dolph, your biggest surprise or just thought on the process we did tonight?
Caleb Downs being available at number 8, baby. What you mean what it was? You already know what it was. Caleb Downs being available at number 8, baby. That was it for me, man. Listen, man, great, man. Thank all of you for joining us in the chat. We had over 110 strong for the entire show. Listen, we thank you. This is the Come On In Sports Network. This is the Weekly Wrap, a football podcast, and we will be with you each and every Sunday in this time slot. 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 p.m. Central Time during the season, as we will recap the day's action and get you ready for Sunday Night Football. When you get tired of listening to them on NBC, baby, tune us in, because we gonna give you a little different flavor, man. And I want to give a special shout out to my brother for joining me, man, Mr. James Patrick, man, from the Forum Media Network, man. My brother, man, beyond just doing this, man. James, appreciate you as always, man, and everything you're doing for me, my brother. I appreciate you. Thank you. And shout out once again to his better half, the boss. Shout out to Florence, who's in the chat. She's in the chat, baby. Florence, how you doing? And again, thank each and every single one of you, man. We really appreciate you, man. This was our first annual mock draft here on the Come On In Sports Network. And man, I want to shout out the host, man. The wrap, the weekly wrap, that was the idea of Mr. Lawrence Foster. He called me like, Dolph, I got an idea. And he pitched it to me. I said, man, run with it. Do what you want, baby.
Go with it.
Yeah. And I just want you to know, brother, you're doing an excellent job, brother. We're proud of you, and we go follow your lead, and we go grow together. He on the Come On In Sports Network. And if you're not subscribed to the Come On In Sports Network, what you waiting for, baby? You get your boy Dolph, you get Cowboy, you get Lawrence, you get James. Hey, don't even look. Coach ain't even come in tonight. We got Coach. We got man. We got Non-Fiction. We got Zach. We got Carlos and PJ. We go all the way across the pond, baby. We got TJ, who's an Eagle fan. Come on, baby. We got you covered at the Come On In Sports Network. But most importantly, family, join us this Thursday night as we will have wall-to-wall coverage of the 2026 NFL draft right here. Lawrence will be doing a pre draft show, and following Lawrence, yours truly, Cowboy, myself, and the whole gang, everyone I just mentioned, will be in the building, and we will take you through every pick of the first round. And I'm gonna pass it on to the host of the Weekly Wrap, a football podcast, the one and only Mr. Lawrence Foster.
And like Dolph said, guys, be sure to be with us all throughout this draft process. We got wall-to-wall coverage. We're going to do pre-post game shows. It'll be live during the draft. It'll be all 3 days. We got coverage there. I want to bring James back up here again. I want him to be able to, James, I want you to pitch all your sites to our guys before you head out. Where to follow you, where to find you at across all social media.
Well, first of all, not to be long-winded, but I'm telling you guys, these guys are going to do well, and that's why we're so excited about them. All of them are talented. They're smart. They just need more of the word out. So what would help that is if you like their post, if you reshare their post, and if you go on anything with YouTube, go on their sites and subscribe, because then you'll get the stuff, because it's fun. And there's no political stuff behind it. You're not going to have all this drama. You're not going to be measuring fingers and all that stuff. They're going to be giving you great information, but they're fun and they're good people. And that's what I love about these guys is please subscribe and please support these good people. For us, Florence is at Florence Carmela for her Twitter. I'm at Real James Pat on Instagram and here on Twitter. And then we are at the Forum Media Network, and we're just approaching. We just got told we're so bad on that stuff. One of our videos is approaching 80,000 views. So it's because of you guys that we're starting to get, growing and doing everything. We also are going to announce, we haven't even announced it, we have the new associate AD of LSU coming on Tuesday. The assistant AD that was hired from McNeese State, and we're very excited about that. We're going to announce in the morning, but we're going to have them on Tuesday, and we have 2 other ADs from other colleges that have reached out to us. So it's amazing what's happening to us. Florence is such a key to all of this. Without her, this doesn't work. But please support us as well. And we have a true crime show that's blowing up as well. And we also have a celebrity that we're going to have on soon, and that's every Thursday night. So, boy, it's a lot of fun. But what I enjoy more, I expect success from me, but these guys are the guys that really make me excited because I see where they're going to go. So please follow them and share their work. They're great.
Awesome. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Appreciate it. Lawrence, you the host, baby.
No, Dolph, you close out better than anybody. You close us out here.
Well, I'm going to close it out once again, baby. Come on in, Sports Network. This has been the first annual, the Weekly Wrap, a football podcast. Get used to that name, baby. Put it in your memory bank and get ready for the 2026 season as we got you covered here on the Come On In Sports Network. And again, we will be live, baby, live this Thursday night for round 1 of the NFL draft. And then we'll be live Tuesday for rounds 2 and 3. And guess what? We'll even be live Saturday when most people just start doing any other things and occasionally look at your phone to see who got picked. We gonna be live, baby, with every pick through the entire draft. So with that being said, family, y'all know how we get out of here. The doors are now open. So come on in. We out, family. Have a good night.
Sports Network.